Hi, welcome back to my Spanish kitchen. Today we're going to make a garlic mayonnaise. It's very well known in Spain and used all the time, called Alioli. In the United States and in France, it's more commonly referred to as Aioli. However you pronounce it though, it couldn't be easier to make. It requires just a couple of ingredients. Must have garlic, must have olive oil. The rest are a matter of preference, both in flavor and whether you want eggs in it, or if you want pimenton, saffron, a little lemon juice, and I'll get into that as we go through it. But to begin with, I want to talk about the oldest traditional way they made alioli in Spain, and that's with a mortar, a pestle, a couple of cloves of peeled garlic. And by the way, I want to mention that when you buy garlic at the store, slice it in half and look to see if there's a stem or a green part. If there is, remove that. It doesn't add good flavor to the garlic and is much easier on your stomach. So you throw the peeled garlic in here and start pounding, and you're going to pound it into a paste. Once it's nice and smooth as a paste, and sometimes even a little salt helps to provide some grit to make that happen, then you start thinly pouring in the oil as you continue to whisk and pound. And after 20 or 25 minutes, you will have an extraordinarily flavorful, rich, pasty mayonnaise, but no egg. That's the old-fashioned type. Frankly, I don't want to wait 25 minutes, and my arms are strong enough, so I don't want to bother with an arm exercise that will take 20 minutes or a half an hour. So I'm going to set that to the side, and I'm going to talk about the way I prepare olive oil and eggs and garlic now to make an alioli that is so incredibly easy and fast. The ratio for olive oil to egg is, think of 1 egg to a ½ cup of olive oil. That's the first thing. And I've got the ½ cup of olive oil already here. I've got my egg, and I got my handy dandy immersion blender. Most homes have either a regular blender or an immersion blender. Either one will work just fine, and it'll work really fast. So I'm going to start by cracking an egg and putting it in the blender, and that's it. Then I like to add a little bit of salt. I think it improves it, so I'm going to add that now. But remember, you can always add more salt later, so don't get freaky with the salt just yet. Same thing with the garlic. This is 1 whole clove of really fresh garlic. So I'm using all of it because we like it nice and strong. And I'm going to reserve the lemon juice until I see how the viscosity is of the mayonnaise as I'm blending it. And I can always add this later, and I can add my other seasonings. I just love saffron, and I'm a brat that I've got so much, but my friend Maria Jose, the Michelin chef in Alicante, Maria Jose San Ramon, gave me a whole bag of this, so I use it liberally. And we're gonna start by pulsing the egg and the garlic together. And we want it pretty well mixed up. And then I'm going to start to pour in this oil. And you want to pour it, I should mention before the machine overtakes my soundtrack, you want to pour it really slow. If you pour it too fast, your mayonnaise can break. And if it breaks, it's not a big deal. You add a touch of water and you can get the emulsion back, but it's no fun. So let's try and see how we do today. I'm adding a little bit at a time, leaving the blender going. And I'm going to keep adding oil in a very thin stream until I'm satisfied it's as thick as I want. It's getting thick, but I'd like it a little bit thicker. So the trick to this is we add more olive oil. And while I'm talking about olive oil, I want to mention there are so many different varieties of olive oil. Actually, there's over 500. It's just like wine grapes. And depending on what you're interested in, I'll put plenty in here so I can stop it whenever I want. You can either have a spicy olive oil like piqual, or you can have a very mild olive oil like arbequina, but it will affect the flavor of the mayonnaise. So learn to figure out what olive oil you like best. I'm partial to different olive oils for different things, like cornicabra and mashed potatoes. Couldn't be a better combination. Arbequina is great with salad dressings because it's a little lighter, but if I'm dressing vegetables, for example, straight, I like piqual because I love that sharp, bitey, grassy flavor. So let's add some more olive oil and see how we do. I'm going to stop there. I think I'm getting close. Okay, I'm pretty close. It's a little saucy, and that's good. I'm going to add some lemon juice now to brighten up the flavor a bit. I'm adding about a teaspoon. And of course, that's going to thin it out. And now a little bit more olive oil. Oh yeah, we're there. Once you get the mayonnaise going, you're in far less danger of it breaking when you add more oil. But I'm really happy with the color. Now I want to taste it and see if the salt level, wow. I don't have to add any more salt. I have an incredibly spicy and flavorful olive oil because it's the olive oil we grow here on the farm, and we like that really strong flavor. And the texture, I won't put my spoon back in there. Get a knife, a fork, and the texture holds up. So I'm done. Now, if you want to add flavorings at this point, if you want to add some pimenton to it, if you want to add Aleppo chili or Maresh chili, anything to add a little bit more spice, as I mentioned, saffron makes a beautiful mayonnaise. And even more lemon juice or grated lemon peel is nice. If you think there's too much garlic, lighten up on the garlic. I used a really big clove, so I knew this would be nice and garlicky. One of the tricks about making sure the emulsion doesn't break is using a whole egg instead of just an egg yolk, but you can try that. So the rule of thumb here is make it your own mayonnaise. You can make this every day. You saw how many minutes this took. Pick your olive oil based on your own flavor. Make sure you've got fresh garlic, and make sure you've got whatever other ingredients you think you want to have to go with it. Egg yolk or whole egg. Add a little water if your emulsion breaks. And other than that, that's about it. What we do is we save this. We'll use this up today at lunchtime and at dinner time. We slather it on bread. It's very common to find it on every table in a Spanish restaurant because they always serve Aioli, especially with fried fish down in Sofia, or salads up here in Troy Manzanas in the Alicante region. It's as close to a national dish as you'll get. And that's a little bit unusual for Spain because Spain is so regional that there can be special sauces for tiny little areas like Torremanzanas and the larger areas of Alicante to very few things that are used all across the country. The next sauce I'm going to be making is one of those tiny regional sauces known as pericana, and we'll do that next. But for now, here's a fast, easy way to make your own homemade mayonnaise and have something fresh every day in your refrigerator. Whether you use it as a dip for vegetables or put it on sandwiches, whatever suits your fancy. Thanks so much for joining me in my Spanish kitchen today. Hope to see you again soon.